So Pema Chodron says we cannot be fully present and run our storylines at the same time. This is a really helpful principle for dealing with pain, for dealing with unwanted body sensations. It's interesting because sensations in our body tend to travel in packets, or our experience of them travels in packets. For example, pain. If we're talking about even chronic pain, if we're fully present, we will realize that the sensation is there with us. And then there's a space between when we feel the next packet of sensation. That's true for emotions too. And if we're fully present with a sensation or even an emotion, we will realize that it really only lasts seconds. The experience only lasts seconds. Now with pain or with unwanted body sensations, it's really important to question our storylines. So if we're fully present, we will be with the sensation, try not to label it, and we could ask ourselves, what story am I attaching to it? I sometimes use the experience I have with cars. So I'm not an engine person, so I like my car. I've liked the cars I've driven. So when I hear a sensation, I think, oh no, what's that? And I think the worst of it is the transmission gonna fall out? Which shows my ignorance about engines. So when we don't know about a system, we can sometimes run a storyline in order to make sense of what we're experiencing. When we don't have complete knowledge about what we're experiencing in our bodies, sometimes we run a storyline to try to make sense of it, and that storyline can up the pain ante, or it can increase the sensation. And really, the experience of the sensation only lasts seconds. The experience of an emotion only lasts seconds. If we dial back our involvement and just let that sensation be as it is, then we can sometimes realize that it'll just pass quickly. It's different, of course, if there's a persistent cause of the pain. If we're holding our finger in a fire, obviously the sensation is going to increase to a certain point, and we need to remove the noxious stimuli. In most cases, though, if we are just fully present and try not to get too attached to our story about the sensation, we'll notice that there is space between the intense experiences. And then if we are fully present with that sensation, most times the sensation will just pass on by, like a leaf flowing down a stream, passing us and just moving on down the stream. Another thing that Pema Chodron says that's helpful here is that the trick is to keep exploring and not bail out. So if we stay curious about our sensations without judgment, we will most of the time notice that the intensity of uncomfortable sensations will diminish.